Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, let me start by asking this question. You know, this question has been really in my mind, and I've decided now to ask it before we talk about what I want us to talk about. You have a problem, and this problem that you have, it's something that it has been occurring, like it's a recurring thing. It has got no end. So somebody comes with another option to solve your problem. I want us to understand each other here. You have a problem, and then this problem that you have, there is a group of people who thinks or who feels like they're the only group that can give you the solution. And however much they try to bring the solution of this problem persists. And then all of a sudden, somebody else comes with another alternative that can help you solve the problem, but at the end of the day, you have to reach the end goal. Now, let me give an example with the driving or maybe going somewhere. For instance, you want to go to, I want to give an example with the center place. Now, let's say for instance, you want to go to I'm looking for a better place, a better example that I can give. Yeah, let's say you want to go to Mombasa. Yes, we know very well that you can go via road, and then you can go via train, and then you can as well use the plane. Of course, a lot of people will argue that using a plane to Mombasa is expensive. Other people will say that using vehicle to Mombasa, using a bus to Mombasa is cheap, but now it takes time. Other people will say that using train SGR to Mombasa, yes, will go, but SGR haifikagi Mombasa exactly. So itakuacha na nyuma, and then pengine utachukua gari ndio kufikisha Mombasa kwenyewe. So waona? So all in all, your target is to go to Mombasa. But now the means that you want to use to go to Mombasa, that is what differs. That is why I've started by saying that imagine you have a problem, and this problem that you have, there are two ways. There are two ways of solving this problem. One way, you've been using this one way for a very long time, and of course it solves it, but inakuacha na shida. Ushaelewa? Hii ya kwanza, yes, itakusaidia, lakini baadaye utakuja kugundua kwamba inakuacha na shida, itakuacha na majeraha. Alafu kuna nyingine ambayo imekuja, hiyo shida tu itakusaidia kutatua hilo shida, lakini halitakuacha na shida, halitakuacha na majeraha. Lengo kuu ni kufikia lile jambo ambalo mnalitaka kulitatua. Now, let me now come back now to our discussion. We've been having a problem here of the election, and every moment there is this question that we normally ask ourselves as Kenyans. This is the question that we normally ask ourselves, that can we really trust the system? That is the question. Yes, we are doing the election, we've been doing the elections, and we've been seeing the results. The end results is normally this: a party must complain. There must be this complaint that, oh, mara tumeibiwa. However much the IBC can promise transparency, you know, but then kuna ile kitu ya, can we really trust? Yes, you promised us transparency, but can we trust this thing? Can you really trust the end results? Now, a group of people sat down, a group of young men sat down somewhere and decided that, of course, we've been having this problem of election here and there, people going, wanaenda kwa laini, wanapanga laini, wanapiga kura, we are using the papers, you know, tunapiga tick X, you know, you are marking the candidate that you want, mnaenda mnapanga laini, unapata watu wengine wanaamka saa 12, saa 11, simply because they want to vote and then come back home earlier, so it forces them to go early. And then at the end of the day, after voting, it forces again now after going to the tallying station, you know, you're going there, and then hizo makaratasi lazima zihesabiwe. It takes a lot of times. So we are not very much okay, and then you find that kura zingine zinapigwa, zingine zinaondolewa. So kuna hiyo shida. So that is where now the transparency and the trust of the IEBC question is coming from. Now, a group of people being led by Bishop John C.W. Together with these men have come out with another idea of using the blockchain, which they feel, according to the explanation, and according to the way I was listening to it, it's one of the better ways of solving all these problems. So the question that I want us to ask ourselves in this video is this: is this true? And if it is true, can it really solve the problems that we've been having as Kenyans? Now, I would like to give some little differences and the importance of maybe using the blockchain over the IBC system and all that. But before that, fellow Kenyans, let me quickly remind you that if at all you're meeting for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share, drop me a comment in the comment section, tell me what to think and where you are watching this video from. And also, guys, as I told you that I'm planning to buy the studio equipment, the mics and all that, so I'm just requesting for you guys to stand with me. If you have 100 shillings or 50 shillings or 1,000, I'll really appreciate. Thank you guys for those who've already sent theirs. I've received yours. I'm seeing messages bado zinakuja, and tawapongeza tu, nasema kwamba asanteni sana, Mungu azidi kuwabariki. Now, I want us to look at something here very quickly, because there's a video that I want you to listen to of Bishop John C.W. trying to explain all of these things, and you know, now he's bringing it on the biblical perspective. That is why I normally love talking about this, because you find that whenever these preachers speak or talk, they bring these things on a biblical perspective. I know a lot of people will argue that you know, watu wamekuwa brainwash with this issue of church. Not everybody is a brainwasher. We have to understand that. Some people explain it to you and then wanakuachilia hapo, so it's up to you to make decision. Like sasa hivi we are supposed to go for the election. Yes, wewe chukua kura. Ukishachukua kura, now it's up to you, utaenda kupiga kura ama utaenda kupiga kura. Hiyo ni uamuzi wako. Nobody forces you to do what you don't want to do. This is what this is now the difference between now the IBC, ile mambo ya IBC kupiga kura, na the blockchain. Now, the blockchain has got nothing to do with the delays. The IBC has got results delay, which claims with a lot of claims of hacking and manipulations. You know, Kenyans often question the IBC's credibility. Even with the technology, transparency depends on people, and people can make mistakes or worse. Of course, we know that people can make mistakes. That is where now the issue of trust of the IBC is normally the problem. Another issue is now when we talk about the blockchain voting. Now let me try to explain a little bit about the blockchain voting. Now imagine voting in your phone. Now you vote in your phone where every vote is recorded on a blockchain. Now, you know, voting on a blockchain, it's like you're voting electronically. At the comfort of your zone, you just use the public digital ledger that can't be changed or deleted, and then it's being sent in and automatically. Each vote is encrypted and then verified and visible to everyone. You see, no middleman to tamper. Like wewe ushapiga kura, wewe yako imeisha. Nobody is coming to tamper with this. Itangoje tu ile wakati ambapo saa, like they're all everything is there. Everything is there. Tunapaswa kujua kwamba okay, hii imefanyika. Now this is the way. Now all these votes, like the votes are in public domain. Everybody is seeing them. You see now the difference between now the IBC tallying and also the blockchain is ile ya tallying lazima muende mpange laini. Now after kupanga laini, the transparency of of the votes is not guaranteed. But now in blockchain, what I love with blockchain is there is issue of transparency and the public verification. Like everything is out, and everybody is seeing it. And then IBC is normally manual and electronic. It's the transparency is limited. The issue of security is also moderate, and then accessibility, physical polling. And then we have got what is called we have got legal status, whereby recognized in Kenya. Now, when you try to look at the blockchain now, the method is fully digital. Transparency is very high, security very strong, accessibility remote possible. But now the problem with now blockchain is that it is not yet legalized. Is when they are having that problem. They are in that process. Now, I would like you to listen to the way Bishop John CW is trying to explain this, and I feel like if at all this thing will be legalized, watu kama kina William Samuel Ruto watakuwa na shida kubwa sana. Unaona? Watakuwa na shida kwa sababu watajiuliza ikifika mwaka 2027. Unaona wanasiasa, a lot of politicians will have problem because they will be like, okay, what if this thing now is legalized? And that is why I don't think if it's going to be very easy for them to legalize this. Unaona hao wabunge, these members of parliament wanataka pale ambapo wataiba kura. And with blockchain, huwezi ukaiba kura. Now, fellow Kenyans, I want us to listen to this, and also please don't forget to tell me what you think at the comment section, because it's you now to decide. Mine is just to tell you what is happening, and then after that, now it's up to you now to decide what to do, how to go about it. Do you think it's very easy? Now, do you really think it's good for this blockchain to be legalized? After it's been legalized, do you think that it's very accessible to everyone, or it's only going to be accessible to those who have got phones? Listen to this and also tell me what you think at the comment section.
Change will never be part of the reality. So it is very important. Coming with a perspective of defense, you will never really see truth, even if truth has been presented to you. So because of that, I wanted to bring to your attention these particular realities. Of course, these are very verified information. According to Kenya's electoral baseline, the current landscape. Now, I want you to listen to this. Understanding the current state of Kenya's electoral system provides a critical baseline against which to measure the impact of devote EMS. Now listen to this. According to 2022, registered voters were 22.1 million. According to 2022, voter turnout, in as much as 22.1 million registered, I want you to see the voter turnout was 65.4%, which is approximately 14.3 million. The question I want to ask, why would 22.1 million people register, and then the people that actually turn out on that day of election are 65%, which is approximately 14? Now, you look at it from that point of view, you realize that you are losing over 7 million people that did not turn out. We need to ask ourselves a question. What made 7 million plus people that registered not to turn out? Very important, and remember that question. Let's keep going. Total election cost for 2022 was 44.24 billion. Total. Now, all this information is online. You can verify it for yourself. All you need to do is to Google. So total election cost, the cost to run the elections of 2022 in Kenya was 44.24 billion. Maybe someone can change that, I think, divide by 130. Can you tell me what that is in dollars? Because I know we are speaking to international. So what is 44 point, is it 24? What is 44.24 in dollars? So we want to give you that figure in dollars so that those of you that are abroad can, try and measure up with different nations. Probably your nation uses more or less. It will be better to use dollar rates. So what would it be? So it's around 342 million, almost 343 million US dollars. To run an election, 343 million US dollars. Africa, what a continent. Okay, so it took 300 and approximately 43 million US dollars to run the election, which is approximately 44.24 billion Kenya shillings. Cost per voter, I want you to listen to that because later on as we are doing our presentation, those of you that care to really know what is happening and those of you that care for the nation of Kenya, this information will be important. So cost per voter, in order for you to vote, it costed a voter 2,000, which of course the government, or rather the IEBC, provides for. 2,000 for you to vote. Of course, you're thinking about ballot papers, you're thinking about the pens that, you know, when you have already voted, the identification on the nail pens. A lot of things are happening, you know, different machines, tallying stations, so much is happening. So according to 2022, the cost per voter was about 2,000 shillings. Now, this is a projected view. Remember, in 2022, it was 44.24 billion. In 2027, it's amazing that we still have the same Kenyans. I don't think we have grown with that big number, and even though we have grown from 2022 to 2027, the children that were born between 2022 and 2027, they are still 5 years of age. Of course, I know there are 15-year-olds that will become able to vote and all those kind of things. But putting that aside, the projected budget for, actually, the Minister of Finance spoke about this. His name is John Badi. He says that it will require approximately 61.7 billion. Remember, 5 years before, we did 340 million, approximately $43 million, which is approximately 44.24 billion. 5 years later, we are dealing with 61.7 billion. What kind of increment is that? From 61 to 44? You are looking at around over 17 billion, if I'm not wrong. You know, 44, 54, 64, yeah, approximately 16 billion hike just to put people in office. You know, one of the things that shocks me is that the other day I was talking to someone that, is vying for a political seat. And I've been speaking with different people, others that are vying for Member of Parliament, others that are vying for MCA, women rep, and all those kind of things in the future. And this particular person shocked me because he told me that, again, we're going to speak about the party politics, because some of these parties, I mean, nowadays, people just start parties for business. In order for you to get a nomination by a specific party, we know the corruption that goes there. People pay money, millions, in order for you to be adopted by a particular party. Let's say, for example, this party, that party, that party. Before you know, you have to pay money. It's bribe. Brothers and sisters, this thing is hectic. Believe me, I've studied this thing, and I can tell you there is darkness that needs to be brought to light. Now, this particular gentleman told me that people are going to a point whereby they are being sold party certificates in order for you to be now allowed to run on a specific party. You can imagine someone paying 30 million to be given a certificate to run for an MCA. Now, brother, I don't know if maybe I'm the one that normally has a problem, or I don't understand. Well, 30 million for you to run for MCA. It's not me belittling the seat, but I'm trying to imagine how much money is an MCA paid? Where are you getting 30 million to get a party nomination, a party certificate? You have not even been given the opportunity to run for office. I mean, rather, to become the MCA. The kind of investments that we do in our nation, that they became members of parliament, they had a budget of 100 million, and they still never became members of parliament. They are not far. Then I'm thinking to myself, an MCA is paid approximately what? Is it 300,000? So in order for you to arrive to 30 million, can you do me the math? 300,000 times 10, that's 3 million, right? Right? Times 12, that's 3.6 million. So 3.6 million times 5 is how much? 3.6 million times 5. Calculate that for me. Because sometimes we need to really get these things well. Because even the corruption in the parties, the kind of corruption, Now, if you are going to take the amount of money you would have received legally by your payslip as a member, as an MC, I hope they are actually paid approximately 300,000. If not, please pardon me in that view. If they take 300,000 approximately for 5 years, how much is it coming to? 18 million, approximately. Now, in the whole 5 years, legally speaking, if you are genuine, your salary would have been 18 million in 5 years, right? I hope you are giving me the right figures. 3.6 times 5, it's 18 million. Now, think about it, brothers and sisters. Why would you take 30 million to get a party nomination? You are not even sure you become a leader, or you'll be. We are not even talking about you have become the MCA. You have just received a party ticket. Why would you invest 30 million knowing very well your salary is 18 million in 5 years? They know why they are going to office. You know, I keep saying these things and many of you still do not understand. It doesn't make sense mathematically speaking. As a businessman, why invest 30 million to get 18 million, which you are not even sure you will get it because it's just a party nomination in order for you to be part of these huge parties? And I listened to that person speaking and I was like, the most expensive, Kenya is one of the most expensive places for you to be a leader. For you to be a leader in Kenya, you need to be already rich. There is no space. Of course, you have few here and there, but you can imagine the kind of corruption. So people start parties because of that corruption. Others because they know there is a portion of the government money that goes to the parties. So this thing is just a cartel. Others are selling party tickets. Others are selling. If you are genuine, why sell your party ticket? And I want to challenge most of the people that are doing that. If you received your ticket without paying any single shilling, I dare you to stand up and talk. Because this thing has become a cartel. When will you ever work for the people? Your first job will be, first of all, to return the 30 million. Maybe someone gave you the money. Why are you going to become an MCA? Why are you spending 30 million? Okay, let's even assume you have become an MCA. Where are you getting 30 million apart from your salary? Because you people know you have shady deals. Some of you are paid to impeach people. Some of you are paid to do wicked things. There are just wicked things happening in this nation. May the Lord help us. It would have been my desire for the parties, all parties that are coming into place, there should be a law that if any corruption is found, if any party is found selling any certification to any person to run through that party, that particular party should be cancelled. Because you are promoting corruption. It means the person, even though there is a good leader that doesn't have the money, the bad leader that has money, what will stop us from being drug cartels? Because I hope you know people come to office to protect their own desires. And I can tell you for a fact, most of these people running for office, the reason why you have the same old people is so that they can protect the interests that their friends had. Most of these people are positioning their friends. Why? Because they know they have looted the nation. I mean, the other day I went around and I had the amount of money the SGRs took. Why won't people that are part of that reality not nominate a specific person for a candidate for president so that they can protect their own interest? Why won't this one protect this one protect that one? It's because this thing is a cartel. Cartels are about to go down in Kenya. It is very sad. Now, becoming a member of parliament, I know a person that used almost 100 million on campaign. It is the most, in Kenya to become a leader is very expensive. And this is why I would request my brothers and sisters in Kenya, make it cheap to become a leader. Let the quality not be what they can give you, but what they can do for you. If we go back to that trajectory, we'll be able to siphon and have the right in the right offices. May the Lord help us. Now, let's go deeper as I call my people. Now, listen to this. So we saw that it went with 61 billion. Now, listen to this. 2022, we used 44.24 billion. Per voter was 2,000 Kenya shillings. Keep that in mind because we'll be looking at it from our point of view, what it will cost a voter. Potential saving, 17.7 billion. New cost, reduced. 1,200 per voter. Now, I want you to look at it. This is why change is critical. In 2022, registered voters was 22.1. IEBC 2027, the amount of money needed is 61.7 billion. Cost increase of 39%. Even if you say that there are new voters coming in, no, it can't be 39%. Let's just be genuine with people. But anyway, we'll be looking at these particular details in point form so that we can be able to see. But I would like to call upon my brothers to come on board, at least to be able to elaborate to you people what we did. You're going to see, first of all, from Peter and then Jesse. Both of them will come at the same time. I'll be introducing them. We want to show you what we presented to the IEBC. The IEBC loved the idea. And I can tell you, because the next thing that they told us was, the next thing that this is going to do, of course, nothing operates in a vacuum. It needs to be taken to the parliament floor, where the member of parliament would need to vote yes or no. We are going to create a list of shame. Now that we know that it is possible, because there are only three ways to look at it. Is it a good idea? Yes. What are the opposition? Number one will be the members of parliament. Now, if you're a member of parliament and you oppose such a thing, there should only be one ground. One ground. What does the Constitution say about it? What does I want to repeat it again, members of parliament. What does the Constitution say about it? Article 81 of the Constitution speaks concerning these kind of realities, embracing new technologies for voting. Article 83 of the Constitution speaks about the same thing, embracing those realities. As long as it is found within our Constitution, there is no reason for the members of parliament to reject this particular thing that probably will be coming to your floor shortly. There is no reason. We had a sit down with the commissioners. They loved the idea. We had a sit down with Mr. Erastus, the IEBC chair. We had a sit down with Canadian High Commission delegates. Of course, you all know that they help a lot during elections. We had a sit down with the UNDP, several stakeholders. And all the stakeholders, we agreed that this particular reality, this thing is the way to go. But they told us the hurdle, number one, would be, what does the law say about it? So remember, we had lawyers there. We had IT departments there. We had all forms of people that we needed in order for us to drive this agenda were seated on that table. And so the only thing we concluded was that this matter will need to be brought to the floor of the House. How it comes there, God will help us. But this is what we decided to do. We are going to create a list of shame. And any member of parliament that will fight this reality without a constitutional approach, and I want to repeat it again, without a constitutional approach, we will mention your name, we will mention where you live, we will mention what you do, so that you enter into the list of shame as the people. Kenyans must know the people that are rejecting progress. We will tutakuchambua. And then, as usual, we will tell Kenyans to, there's a way we shake people's hands in our nation of Kenya. Let us leave that as a metaphor. And therefore, this is my appeal to the members of parliament. Do not reject something because of a cartel. In order for you to achieve this particular reality, we know that you have to ship in things. We know you have to send in papers and all those things in order for you to have a manual way of transmitting votes. I want to appeal to you. Secondly, we know that there are people that always have a negative mind. Always have a negative mind. Which other nation has done it? Who had done M-Pesa before us? Stop that nonsense. Why is it that Africa needs to always wait for someone? Why can't people see us? Okay, that person you are saying, why is it that no one had done? Who told you we need to wait for the US? M-Pesa is the biggest mobile money transfer globally. Who did we wait for? Africa is not here to wait for anyone. And we repeat it again. Africa is not here to wait for anyone. We have competitive minds. We have competitive ideas. We understand the systems. We are not ignorant people. For example, the systems we are about to show you today, they have been built by our own people. This mentality of trying to, who has done? Who has done? Who told you that they need to do for us to do anything? Kenya runs by itself. and we have brains, and we will expose those brains. So any member of parliament that once this is brought to the floor of the House and you reject it, we will create a list of shame. We will tell the Kenyans that this is the person that is rejecting, and you need to give us substantial, and I want to repeat it again, substantial constitutional grounds for you to say no. Constitutional grounds, not political grounds. Because politically speaking, we all know that when you strike where people make money from, they come out guns blazing. Well, this is an opportunity. So all members of parliament be warned. Be very much warned. You thought that when we started this, it was just a village thing in Kenol. Where are we today? Be very warned. We are not playing games anymore. We are trying to avoid people dying. Forget about even who's coming into power. We are trying to avoid people dying because of people saying that they have been stolen for their votes. We are trying to avoid re-elections because it costs a lot of money. Those are the things we are trying to avoid. There will be free and fair elections in our nation of Kenya. Uganda can take the same suit. I mean, we have people like Bobby Wine leading the East African side. If at all, Kenya is becoming a global sensation, or rather on the continent of Africa. So if we do the right thing here, other nations will copy-paste. Uganda is about to go to elections. Tanzania is about to go to elections. I would appeal to the nations of Tanzania and Uganda. Embrace these new ways. You will reduce death, bloodshed, tribalism. All those things will die.